Have you ever wondered why time only moves forward? Think about the simplest moment in your life. You drop a glass. It falls. It shatters on the floor. Pieces scatter everywhere. But have you ever seen the opposite happen? Shards sliding across the floor, rising into the air, assembling themselves perfectly, and landing softly back on the table as a whole glass again. Of course not. It feels almost absurd to imagine. And yet, here's the strange thing. If you look at the fundamental laws of physics, the deepest rules we have discovered about how the universe works, almost none of them care about the direction of time. According to the equations, the movie of the universe could run forward or backward, and the laws would still work perfectly, which raises a strange question. If the laws of physics don't care which direction time moves, why does the universe seem to care so much? Why do we remember the past but not the future? Why do eggs scramble but never unscramble? Why does smoke spread through a room but never gather itself neatly back into a cigarette? Somewhere between the tiny world of atoms and the vast sweep of the cosmos, something mysterious is happening, something that gives time its arrow, its direction. But what if that arrow isn't pointing where we think it is? Let me show you something curious. Imagine filming an ordinary event. A cup falls from a table and breaks. Now reverse the video, you'll instantly know something is wrong. Your brain rejects it immediately. Why? Because the reverse video violates something deeply embedded in our experience of reality. We know instinctively that broken things don't spontaneously fix themselves. But here's the strange part. At the level of atoms, nothing actually prevents this from happening. Atoms collide, energy moves around, particles interact, and the equations describing these interactions are almost perfectly symmetrical in time. They don't care whether time goes forward or backward. It's like a set of rules for a game that works equally well whether you play it from the beginning or from the end. And yet, the world we experience clearly has a direction. Ice melts, stars burn out, people grow older, time flows. But why? To understand this mystery, we need to zoom out, far beyond everyday life, far beyond Earth, far beyond even our galaxy. We need to look at the universe itself, because the secret of time's arrow may not lie in physics experiments, but in the history of the cosmos. Let's imagine the universe as a gigantic cosmic movie. We are watching one frame at a time, frame after frame, moment after moment. Now rewind the film all the way back, back before Earth existed, back before stars, back before galaxies, back nearly 14 billion years, to the moment everything began, the birth of the universe. At that moment, something astonishing happened. The universe was incredibly hot, incredibly dense, but also incredibly ordered. This is the strange part most people never hear about. Despite its enormous energy, the early universe had extremely low entropy. Now, entropy is one of those scientific words that sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Entropy measures disorder. Imagine two rooms. In one room, everything is perfectly organized. Books neatly aligned, clothes folded, every object in its place. In the other room, everything is chaotic. Clothes scattered, books everywhere, nothing arranged. Which room has higher entropy? The messy one. Because there are far more ways for a room to be messy than for it to be perfectly organized. Now here's the key insight. The universe started in an extraordinarily organized state. In fact, unbelievably organized, which is very strange. Because if the laws of physics don't prefer order over disorder, why did the universe begin in such a special condition? It's like shuffling a deck of cards billions of times, and somehow ending up with the cards perfectly arranged in numerical order. It shouldn't happen naturally. And yet, the entire cosmos began this way. That tiny detail may hold the key to time itself, because once the universe started in this extremely ordered state, something inevitable happened. Entropy began to increase. Order slowly turned into disorder. Stars formed, burned their fuel, exploded, matter spread, structures formed, and dissolved. Everything moved gradually toward greater randomness, and this is what we experience as the arrow of time. Time seems to move forward because entropy increases. Ice melts, smoke spreads, memories accumulate, everything drifts from order to disorder. But here's the unsettling thought. What if this direction of time is not built into the laws of physics at all? What if it's simply a consequence of how the universe began? Imagine a river. The water flows downhill, but the direction of the river is not a law of physics. It's simply determined by the slope of the land. If the landscape were shaped differently, the river would flow another way. Now apply this idea to time. Perhaps time appears to flow forward only because the universe began in an incredibly special, low-entropy state, and since that moment, entropy has been climbing ever upward, like a ball rolling downhill. But this explanation leads to an even deeper mystery. Why did the universe begin in such a low-entropy condition in the first place? Why did it start so organized? Because if it hadn't, time as we know it might not exist at all. Without that initial order, there would be no arrow of time, no past, no future, no history unfolding, just a chaotic blur of events with no direction. But something even stranger may be hiding beneath this story, because when we examine gravity, the force shaping galaxies, stars, and black holes, we find something surprising. Gravity doesn't behave like the other forces. When gravity acts on matter, it often increases order rather than disorder. Clouds of gas collapse into stars. Stars gather into galaxies. Structures emerge from chaos. At first glance, this seems to violate the idea that entropy always increases. But the deeper truth is subtler. When gravity forms structures, it actually increases entropy in a hidden way. Black holes, for example, contain enormous amounts of entropy. In fact, they may be the most entropic objects in the universe. But this leads to a breathtaking thought. The early universe contained almost no black holes. Gravity had not yet created its complex structures, which means the gravitational entropy of the universe was incredibly low, lower than almost anything we can imagine. And that might be the true reason time has a direction, because the universe began in a very special gravitational state, one that allowed entropy to grow for billions of years. But now the story becomes even more mysterious, because if the arrow of time comes from the universe's initial conditions, then time itself might not be fundamental. It might simply be an emergent feature, like waves forming on the surface of water, a pattern that appears under certain conditions, but not a basic ingredient of reality. And if that's true, then something even stranger may be possible. What if the direction of time could reverse? What if somewhere in the vast history of the cosmos, the arrow flips? Imagine a universe that expands for billions of years, as ours does now. Galaxies drift apart, stars burn out, entropy rises. But eventually, expansion slows, then stops. And slowly, the universe begins to contract. Everything starts falling back together. Galaxies collide. Radiation grows hotter. Matter compresses. The cosmos moves toward another incredibly ordered state. Now here's the shocking possibility. If the universe approached such an extremely low entropy condition again, the arrow of time might reverse. From that point of view, the future we imagine might actually behave like the past. Events could unfold in ways that feel backward to us. But for observers living in that era, time would still feel perfectly normal. They would remember their past. They would see eggs break rather than unbreak. Their arrow of time would point in the opposite direction from ours. Two regions of the universe, experiencing opposite directions of time, both believing theirs is the forward direction, and neither able to tell the difference. This idea sounds almost impossible, and yet, it emerges naturally from the deepest questions about entropy and cosmology. But the mystery becomes even deeper when we ask a haunting question. What if the universe did not begin with one arrow of time, but two? What if the moment of the universe's birth was actually the middle of time, a point from which time flows in two opposite directions? In that case, everything we call the past would lie on one side of that moment, and everything we call the future would lie on the other. But observers on each side would experience time moving forward, away from that central point, two cosmic histories, flowing in opposite directions, both believing they are moving into the future. And if that idea is true, then the beginning of the universe may not be the beginning at all. It might simply be the point where two arrows of time diverge, two universes unfolding away from each other, like mirror reflections across a cosmic boundary. And if that's the case, then something we believe is fundamental, something we feel every second of our lives, the forward flow of time itself, might actually be a local illusion. But to see just how strange this idea becomes, we need to look deeper into the nature of memory, because the reason we feel time moving forward may have less to do with physics and more to do with how information is stored in the universe. And that is where the story takes an even stranger turn. Because when we begin to understand how memory works at a physical level, we discover something astonishing, something that suggests the future may influence the past in ways we have barely begun to understand. And that possibility changes everything. Now think about something very ordinary, your memory. Right now you can remember what happened yesterday, maybe what you ate for dinner, maybe a conversation you had, maybe a small moment that made you laugh. But you cannot remember tomorrow, you cannot remember next year. The future is blank. This feels so natural that we almost never question it. Of course we remember the past and not the future. But why? What physical law forces memory to point backward? If the fundamental laws of physics work equally well forward or backward in time, then why does memory only record one direction? To answer this, we need to look carefully at what memory actually is. A memory is not something mystical floating inside your mind. It is a physical structure, a pattern of atoms, neurons in your brain rearranging themselves, information stored in matter. When you remember something, your brain changes, connections between neurons strengthen, chemical signals leave traces. In other words, the act of remembering creates physical records, and those records are themselves subject to the laws of entropy. Every time a memory forms, energy spreads through the brain, heat is released, tiny irreversible changes occur, entropy increases. So memories naturally form in the direction in which entropy increases, which means something remarkable. We remember the past because the past is the direction of lower entropy, and the future is the direction of higher entropy. Memory is not just psychological, it is thermodynamic. Your brain is literally a machine that records the direction of increasing entropy, and that's why the future cannot yet be remembered, because the entropy that would contain those records hasn't happened yet. But this explanation reveals something profound. The arrow of time you feel inside your mind is connected to the arrow of entropy in the universe. Your memories are aligned with the cosmic direction of disorder. You are in a very real sense a creature riding the slope of entropy. Your thoughts, experiences, and memories are all moving along that slope. But now something deeply unsettling emerges. If the arrow of time is defined by entropy, and entropy depends on the initial conditions of the universe, then the direction of time is not written into the laws of physics, it's written into the history of the universe, which means the direction of time could have been different. Imagine a universe that began in a very different state, one that started messy instead of orderly. In such a universe, entropy might decrease instead of increase. Objects might spontaneously organize, broken cups might assemble themselves, smoke might gather neatly back into a cigarette, and for observers living in that world, everything would feel perfectly normal. They would remember events we would call the future. Their memories would point in the opposite direction from ours. From their perspective, we would appear to be the ones living backward. The idea is almost dizzying. Two observers, each convinced time flows forward, but each pointing in opposite directions, and neither able to prove the other wrong, because the laws of physics themselves would allow both. Now let's push this idea even further. Imagine the moment when the universe began, that incredibly special low-entropy state we talked about earlier. What if that moment was not the start of time, but the narrowest point in time? Picture a vast hourglass. At the center there is a thin neck. On both sides, sand spreads outward. Now replace sand with entropy. At the center, entropy is extremely low. Moving away from that center in either direction, entropy increases, which means the arrow of time points away from that moment on both sides. Two directions, two futures. From the perspective of observers on one side, time flows forward away from the center. From the perspective of observers on the other side, time also flows forward away from the center, but their future lies in the opposite direction. Two universes expanding away from a shared beginning, or perhaps a shared middle. If such a picture is correct, something extraordinary follows. The universe might be symmetric in time, just as space has left and right. Time might have two directions, and we simply happen to exist on one side of the cosmic divide. But if another region of the universe exists where time flows the other way, we would never meet them, because from our perspective they exist in what we call the past, and from their perspective we exist in theirs. Two civilizations, forever separated by the direction of time itself. Yet this idea raises an even deeper question. What determines the initial low entropy of the universe? Why did the cosmos begin in such an incredibly special state? This question has puzzled physicists for decades. Because the early universe could have been vastly more disordered. Gravity could have created countless black holes immediately. Matter could have been distributed randomly. Instead, the universe began astonishingly smooth, almost perfectly uniform. It was as if the cosmos started in a state of breathtaking simplicity, and that simplicity allowed complexity to emerge. Stars, galaxies, planets, life, conscious minds capable of wondering about time. But the deeper we examine this mystery, the more it begins to feel like a clue. Perhaps the low entropy of the early universe is not an accident. Perhaps it reveals something about the deeper laws governing reality, something about how space, time, and information are connected. Because when we look closely at black holes, those strange regions where gravity becomes extreme, we discover something astonishing. Black holes appear to store information on their surfaces, not in their volume, but on their boundaries. This strange fact suggests something radical. The information describing the universe might be encoded on cosmic boundaries in ways we barely understand. And if information is fundamental, then time itself might be connected to how information evolves. The flow of time could simply be the unfolding of information, the gradual transformation of one state into another, from simplicity to complexity, from order to disorder, from possibility to history. But here is the thought that stops many physicists in their tracks. If the laws of physics are time-symmetric, then the future may be just as real as the past, not merely something that will happen, but something that already exists within the structure of the universe. In that sense, the universe might resemble a gigantic four-dimensional sculpture, space and time woven together, every event already embedded within the structure, past, present, and future existing simultaneously. If that is true, then what we call the passage of time might be something happening inside our consciousness, rather than in the universe itself. We move through time the way a spotlight moves across a painting, illuminating one moment at a time, but the entire painting already exists, every scene, every moment, every possibility, and the arrow of time we feel may simply be the direction in which entropy increases along our path through that structure. Yet even this picture leaves one final mystery. Why does consciousness move the way it does? Why does our awareness travel from low entropy toward higher entropy? Why do we experience the universe frame by frame instead of all at once? No one truly knows. Perhaps consciousness itself is tied to the flow of information. Perhaps minds can only exist in regions where entropy increases, because only there can memories accumulate, only there can records be formed, only there can cause and effect be distinguished, which means something quietly beautiful. Your existence, your memories, your thoughts in this very moment are part of the universe's great journey from order to disorder. You are not separate from the arrow of time. You are made from it. Your brain, your memories, your experiences are all tiny processes riding the cosmic slope of entropy. You are a pattern unfolding along the direction of time itself. But if the arrow of time truly comes from the special conditions of the early universe, then the deepest mystery may not be the future, it may be the beginning. Why did the universe begin in such an exquisitely ordered state? Why was entropy so incredibly low? Was it chance, a deeper law, or something about reality we have not yet discovered? Because if we ever solve that puzzle, we may finally understand why time flows at all, and perhaps something even more surprising will emerge. Perhaps time itself is not fundamental. Perhaps it is something that emerges from deeper timeless laws, like a shadow cast by a structure we cannot yet see. And if that is true, then the flow of time we experience every day, the steady march from past to future, the ticking of clocks, the aging of stars, may all be part of a much larger pattern, a pattern in which time is not the river we thought it was, but something stranger, something more subtle, something woven into the very fabric of the universe. And that leaves us with a final question, a question that physicists still debate, a question that reaches far beyond science into philosophy. If the laws of physics do not prefer a direction of time, and the universe itself may contain multiple arrows of time, then when you look toward the future, are you really looking forward? Or could it be that somewhere deep in the structure of reality, the direction we call the future is simply another path leading back toward the beginning of everything?